All right, Gary, this is what I want to know. Given that wine is currently marketed relative to other alcohols like beer, liquors, what if the wine industry changed the conversation to market wine as a food? Food culture is huge right now, and what if we got people to think about wine more as a food rather than just another alcohol?
Great question. Morgan, great question. I think that's a really smart thought. I think you're barking up the right tree in general in marketing, and I'm going to try to make this show very valuable to everybody that watches it, and I know a lot of you are not wine enthusiasts, so I'll go very business on it. Using Morgan's main theme, I'm a big believer that you need to market things, the value prop of things differently, and look for white spaces. That a bottled water company, you're always talking about hydration and thirst and things of that nature, but maybe you start thinking about it for like how water's powerful for the brain. You got to find white spaces that bring value props to other products, and so if you start thinking about this like a food product, it might change the way people think about it. It's clearly, a lot more people eat food than drink wine. So I think it opens up the category. I think the problem is, and I've thought about this for 20 years, I don't think you can pull it off. I don't think you can get people to really understand that a beverage is a food or thinking about it. You can make it take it more seriously, a la coffee, a la wine. You see what's going on in brown spirits right now. We can make them, think about wine in a more complicated way and a more perplexed way. The problem is that's where I think wine is. I think people actually think about wine more carefully than they think about food, which is in essence your point, right? If we can make people less intimidated about it and think of it as a more casual, as a standard within food. I mean, the way the wine business wants you to think is that this is always at the table when you're eating, because then you've created more occasions to use the product, and away you go. So I think it's the right thought. I think it's a far-fetched dream to think that you can get people to really think about it in a way that it's mandatory to as many use cases as we do with food, which is really the holy grail of that. But the interesting part of the question for everybody here is whatever you sell, whatever services you have, if you can make them think about it in a way that brings more value. For example, with VaynerMedia, I make people realize that our machine, our process works for anything, not just selling stuff, but getting somebody elected, right? Getting donations from a nonprofit. Like the machine can actually create any awareness around anything that can create a business result or an end result of your choice. And so that's everybody's job in here. Like, how do you get people to think about your products in a different way? This used to be something you wore. Right? Like it was a functional item. You had tennis shoes, unbranded, and then over time people came along and started branding it, and it went into a fashion statement, right? And now it's a collector's item. There's a lot of sneakers being bought to put on a shelf and then trade. Now you've got the tennis sneaker in a 40-year window going from just being a utility to play sports or run or what have you to them being a fashion category play and now a collector's category play. 3 sections, hence why we sell a lot more sneakers in society today than we used to. That's a real life example.